Hi Year 3, Sam here with spelling for this week. Last week we looked at prefixes. We looked at the prefix im, like in impossible, and il, like in illegal. So reminding ourselves what a prefix is. A prefix is a group of letters that is added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. So like legal, we add il and it changes the meaning to illegal. It's similar to a suffix, which is added at the end of the word. Pause the video here and see if you can think of a suffix. So some letters that you would add to the end of a word. Right, I hope you came up with some. If you didn't, remember we've got ed that we would add to the end of a word to make it the past tense, like walk would be our root word, and we could add ed to the end of it for it to become walked. He walked to the park. So prefixes are added to a word that makes sense on its own, but it can have a prefix at the beginning or a suffix at the end. And then we've got the example that we looked at last week as well, with take becoming mistake or taking. So have a look at these words, pause your video here and see what can you notice about these words. So have a look at them. What do you notice? Okay, so hopefully you all saw that all of these words start with the same few letters. So we've got here disappear, disbelieve, discontinue, and disinterest. So they all start with dis. Is dis a prefix or a suffix? So have a little think. Does it come at the beginning or the end of a word? So all of these words begin with the prefix dis, so it's a prefix because it comes at the beginning, comes before the root word. How does adding dis change the meaning of the word? So we've got interest, and then it would, if we add dis to the front of that, it becomes disinterest. Or we have the word appear, and then if we add dis to the beginning of it, it becomes disappear. So pause the video and have a think. How has dis changed the meaning of the word from appear to disappear? So adding dis creates a new word with a negative meaning. So it's almost the opposite. If something appears, you can see it. If something disappears, you can no longer see it. So here we've got a word disinterest. So dis is at the beginning as it's a prefix, and then we've got interest. Having a look at the picture, what do you think disinterest might mean? Do you think that this man is interested in what he's doing, or do you think that he's not that interested in what he's doing? And then we've got disappear, the same as well. What is happening to the rabbit in the hat? Is it going to appear or is it going to disappear? Will you be able to see it, or will it have gone and you won't be able to see it anymore? So now we're going to have a little go at figuring out whether a word has a suffix or a prefix. And this is the little activity I'd like you to do today. So you're going to sort the words into the right column. So deciding whether they have a suffix or a prefix. So remember, a prefix comes at does a prefix come at the beginning or the end? And a suffix comes at does it come at the beginning or the end? Have a go at answering that question. So for the next slide, hopefully you've said that. So the prefix comes at the beginning and a suffix comes at the end. Okay, so here we go. This is what the activity I'd like you to have a go at. So when I finish talking, you can pause the video and you can either just think about which word would go in which column, or you could write it on some paper, take a picture and send it to me. So I'll read the words out for you. So we've got singing, impossible, happily, disappear, walked, crying, illegal, quietly, and disappoint. So I want you to think, what is the root word in all of these words? So what is the main word that makes sense on its own? And then have we added some letters to the beginning, which would be a prefix, or have we added some letters to the end, which would be a suffix? Now, if you're a little bit stuck on this, the next slide is going to give you a bit of a clue, but I want you to try and do it here. So pause the video and try and do it here. And if you are stuck, I'm going to show you this clue now. So on this slide, I've highlighted for you either the prefix or the suffix. Remember, a prefix comes at the beginning, to change the meaning, and a suffix comes at the end. So, for example, singing in black here is sing, that's the root word, and I've added ing to the end of a word. So if I've added it to the end, it is a suffix. So singing would go in here. Impossible. So again, I've got the root word in black here, possible, that's the root word, and I've added im to the beginning of the root word. So that makes it a prefix. So impossible would go in here. So you can pause the video now and have a go at the rest. And then, as a challenge, I want you to think about whether you could come up with any of your own words that could go into that would go into the prefix box. So you've got letters at the beginning of the root word, or that go into the suffix box. So letters that come at the end. And if you want to have a go at that, but you're a bit stuck to start with, you could maybe have a look at one of your reading slides that you've been doing in literacy skills, and read through that and look at the words and see if you can find any words with these suffixes or these prefixes in. Right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.